What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy D Neal and
Mackenzie
back with another reaction video, and we are back with the Bam Fam dealing with the medical emergency in Australia. And this is like a vlog, so we get to actually see what them actually deal in the hospital and all that. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Before we jump in, make sure you subscribe, ring notification bell, get the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested, and let's do it.
So these last few weeks have been really tough.
It was a Monday afternoon. I was working in the shed and I started getting a pain in my stomach. Well, I'd been wearing this blue dress all day. It was a very beautiful blue dress. But I thought, okay, maybe I'm getting a little bit chunky here. I thought it's possibly just, I've been wearing it all day. Possibly it's just been pulling on my stomach. And maybe that's, maybe I just shouldn't wear this dress, or I need to lose a little bit of weight. I carried on working for another few hours. I thought, oh, this is very unpleasant. I went and changed into my pajamas because they're super comfortable. Sporting them now, me and Betty. Anyway, it didn't help. I just thought, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm just going to go and sleep this off, and I'm sure by the morning I'll feel absolutely fine. But it got to about 10 o'clock at night and I still wasn't asleep. The pain was getting worse at this stage. I was thinking, this isn't normal. This isn't a cramp. You know when you get a stomach ache and you get a cramp and it comes and goes in waves? It wasn't anything like that. It was a constant pain. It had been going on for 7 hours at this stage.
Maz just asked me to take her to the hospital. She knew something was really wrong.
Every little bump in the road, I really felt it. It just was horrible. Ben was being as careful as he could not to go too fast over bumps. So he was lovely. He's always lovely. We got to the hospital. They don't allow visitors in at this particular hospital that I went to. So I had to go in on my own. And at this stage, I was getting more poorly. Ben came home. I went for a CT scan. There's a little bit of a funny story to this. It must have been about 2 o'clock in the morning, and the nurse gave me my third lot of anti-sickness medication. And it was supposed to be some kind of pain relief, but she said it will make you very drowsy. I took it and I was beginning to feel the drowsiness. I was drifting off to sleep. And all of these crazy Alice in Wonderland images were coming into my head, but I could see them, but not the pleasant ones. They were really spinny, and I did not like it at all. It was real freaky stuff. I had to open my eyes. I couldn't.
Have you seen Alice in Wonderland?
No.
Me neither. That might need to be on our movies to watch.
I've heard a lot of people like it.
Yeah. Is it like a musical?
I'm sure it has music in it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much, but
I need to check it out. Yeah. Alice in Wonderland.
okay. Yeah.
Let him continue.
Isn't Johnny Depp in that?
I want to say yeah.
I think he is.
We're going to watch it at some point. Maybe not immediately, but at some point.
Maybe watch it tonight.
Possibly.
It at all. It was real freaky stuff. I had to open my eyes. I couldn't let myself fall asleep because it was just so awful. And then the nurse kept looking at my monitors from the office, and I was beginning to get a bit paranoid.
So I got woken up at around about 2 a.m. with Maz texting me some really weird stuff. She was saying stuff like, I don't feel safe, the nurse is drugging me to make her life a little bit easier and keep me quiet. She was completely paranoid that this nurse was up to no good.
Oh yeah, them drugs was hitting, boy.
That would be me for sure. I'd be texting Darren like, bro, they finna kill me.
Come get me right now. Go get.
I just told him you should have never left me. You should have sat out in the parking lot
and slept in the car.
You don't leave me.
I'm too dead.
And just said, yes, you have been drugged by the nurses. It's absolutely fine. That's what they do. So the doctor came in, I think it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, and said to me, we finally got your CT results through. Your small intestine has twisted. You need to get surgery pretty quickly. He said, we're going to have to prep you for surgery. We're going to stick a tube up your nose into your stomach, and then we're going to get an ambulance to transport you to the hospital, another hospital for surgery.
Once I found out that Mum was in hospital, I realised that she must have been very sick. I was a bit worried at first. I realised, okay, I've got to get this together. And then I just took over the house and made sure everything was done, and there was nothing for Mum and Dad to worry about.
When there's a problem, Lily...
So clutch to have kids like that, you feel me? Mm-hmm. That when you're in that mode, it's like, hey, I'm going to take over. So they don't have to worry about this. All she got to worry about getting the surgery, getting better. All Dad got to worry about taking care of Mom. I got everything else.
I feel like I was always that kid growing up.
Yeah.
Always the one to, like, if something like that happened, I'm always the one to make sure everything's good for everybody.
Yeah, I feel like you still are that way for sure.
For sure.
He really flies into, I guess, like a nurturing and mothering role. Don't get me wrong, she doesn't have to. We don't expect that of our children, but it's just how she naturally is. Couldn't really have a better daughter than Lily because she is just awesome.
Shout out Lily.
And having Lily by my side made everything so much easier. I knew that I could go to the hospital and everything at home was going to be running really well. It's such a relief in these times to have a daughter like that.
I've got to say, having that tube inserted was probably one of the most horrible experiences, and I'm absolutely traumatised by it. Not only did it look flipping awful, but it was really horrible and I couldn't stop gagging. The nurses, including the one who I thought was trying to drug me earlier on in the morning, were very sweet to me and very kind. Oh my God, that's going to make me teary. But it was just the worst experience. Anyone who's had it will know it was disgusting. Now, I know some of you who are on Instagram, you saw this and I got a lot of questions asking if I'd had a nose job. I did not have a nose job in hospital. I have actually had that done previously, but that's a whole nother story. On this occasion, no nose job.
Maz got taken by ambulance early in the morning to Skoo Hospital. It's an absolutely fantastic hospital here on the Sunshine Coast.
I went into this first ward and it's like a holding ward, I guess, for arrivals. So the wardies collected me, took me to the ward that I needed to go for my surgery. The doctor from the surgical team came in. He said he'd looked at the CT scan and that it wasn't just one twist, it was two. It's very unusual apparently, so usually it's something that happens if you've had a previous abdominal surgery or a C-section. I've never had anything. It's really still a mystery as to how it happened. I had no...
That is crazy to think about, how your intestines just like twist up like that.
Yeah.
That's the
See, like
scary
that
thought.
happened to my sister when she was in, well, actually it had ripped her intestines.
Oh.
She was in an accident and she was sitting in the front seat.
Yeah.
And the seatbelt had ripped into her and it tore her intestines. And she was like 5, maybe.
Oh, wow.
And she almost died from it. She was so little.
That's terrible. Yeah, I ain't never had no intestine problems. I can't imagine. That sounds completely awful,
No,
bro.
but the tube in her nose, I can so
Nah,
that.
yeah, I can't. You're not sticking the tube.
No, because even when it comes to like testing for like the flu or COVID and they put the swab up my nose, it hurts.
Well, I heard.
It hurts. I don't like it.
I've heard-
Because they'd be like, oh, just a little swab, and then they stick it up all the way up to your brain.
That long
Nah.
swab. Yeah.
You didn't say that. You said a little swab.
Yeah, I heard so many complaints about that when they at the beginning of COVID, when that was like the only way of testing. So many people complaining about it. I never got tested.
I never got tested.
Because I was not
for
about to
COVID.
get touched with that swab. But you're not sticking that thing that far up my nose.
No, but when they test you for the flu, they do the same thing.
I never been tested for
And
the flu
I didn't
either.
know that. So one time, you know, I had went to the doctor because I thought I had the flu. And I did. but they were just like, let me just get a little swab. And I thought, okay, just like get a little swab on the inside. No, my eyes literally both, it looked like I was crying. And it burned and burned.
See, nah, yeah. Can't do it. Can't, not me.
And it's not like, they don't even just do it for like, it's like they,
Yeah.
bro, you said real quick.
Yeah.
You in there digging.
I probably have had the flu, and I was just like, it's the flu. I'm gonna just fight through it.
Can you imagine how many times them like nurses and doctors had to do it?
No.
You know it tore their nose up.
I don't even want to think about it, bro. Yeah, you're gonna have to give me something before you put that thing up my nose.
No choice, I had to have surgery, and luckily they were saying they were going to do keyhole surgery, but if there was any bruising internally or any damage, then obviously they would need to do a full surgery. In my preparation for surgery, the nurse presented me with my attire for the surgery, which consisted of a beautiful lilac gown, some white stockings with orange socks, like grippy socks, you know, like you'd go to a trampoline place with. The final piece to this outfit was net knickers, which, to be honest, I wasn't expecting lingerie, but they were absolutely disgusting. Not long after that, they took me for surgery. I can't speak highly enough about how it was. Everybody was so kind, so professional. Can't even praise them enough because I felt so comfortable despite feeling like rubbish. I was so well looked after and I didn't stress at all. It was just, this is what's going to happen. I'll be very lucky if I only have keyhole surgery, and that's fine. It is what it is. So I went in, had the surgery, and then woke up in recovery, and I was like, okay, so what's happened? Oh, is it bad? I'm so grateful. They told me everything went very well. It was just twisted. There were no further complications. We've untwisted you, and it's only been keyhole surgery. They called Ben, let him know that I was okay. And the great thing about it is that the second hospital I went to allowed visitors. I was accommodated with a bedroom to myself, and it had an ensuite. It was a lovely bedroom with television, even though I didn't watch it. But the main thing for me is a private bathroom. I hate sharing bathrooms, it just grosses me out. Post-op wise, I was on hourly observations, and that consisted of temperature, blood pressure, and all the normal observations that you get in hospital. And I had my cannula with my IV fluids, which was wonderful. My paracetamol through there, brilliant. Anyway, kept me feeling good. And then I began to be able to walk up and down the corridors within a few days. That was my outing from my bedroom. But to be honest, I just needed to sleep. I was just catching up on a lot of sleep and not wanting to move too much, because obviously stomach surgery it's not nice, is it? There's one more part to this story, which is I'm very calm. I don't overreact. And I was on a fluid diet from after the surgery, which was on Tuesday, till I think Thursday night, and I was only allowed.
That's where I would have suffered right there.
Yeah, I was about to say, Darian wouldn't make it.
I was
like, Kenzie, if you don't sneak me in some food.
I would say I need some kind of meat, Kenzie. I need a burger. I need some steak. I need chicken. I need pork. I need some kind of meat, Kenzie. I can't do this.
That's one thing about him, is he will not eat no meal unless it's got meat in it. Some kind of meat, some kind of chicken, some kind of something.
You gotta have your proteins. You feel me? That I get a lot of my proteins from meats.
But see, if it had been you though, I would have had to be in the parking lot the entire time, bro, waiting on you.
Yeah. You wouldn't have been able to go home?
No. And not that there's anything wrong with him going home, but
yeah.
Me personally, I'm just such an overthinker, and I worry about everything, so I'd be scared to death like something could go wrong.
But we don't have like kids yet or nothing, so he had to go home.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong if they have
girls.
kids.
Yeah.
But me, I'm gonna be at the door.
Gonna be at the door waiting. God dang it.
I'd be like, what side is his bedroom on? You can see me through the window.
I'm gonna be looking out the window. Bring up the meat.
Of course you would.
Nah, but I think it's really awesome that all the doctors and nurses were really caring and look after her, made her feel as comfortable as possible. Because, going through that surgery couldn't have been easy. And
Right.
going through recovery from that couldn't have been easy. So
Right, and just going through that in general, I mean, everybody is scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Anytime
Like,
you getting cut open.
yeah, anytime you're in pain and they be like, oh, we need to cut you open.
Yeah.
Everybody's scared.
Yeah.
You don't know how things can go.
Exactly.
So, since she didn't have comfort, it was nice that they were there to comfort her.
Exactly. Shout out Australia. Australia, mate.
Drinks and jelly. I never want to see jelly again. But on the Thursday night, I was told I could have soup with my diet now. I was allowed, that little bit of extra texture. So I had a beautiful soup, but then in the morning, they didn't give me soup for breakfast. They presented me with more jelly. I just didn't want it. When it came to lunchtime, they brought me more liquid, and I said, "Oh no, I'm allowed soup now." And they said, "Oh no, we don't. We only do soup in the evening, not at lunchtime." And at this point, I was so desperate for food that I just cried. I still had my nose tube, so I looked like this.
I don't cry, but I might have cried in that moment too. I might have just had a breakdown too. God dang it.
Y'all don't know how serious he takes his meat, bro.
And I gotta eat I have to eat 3 times a day, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's not negotiable.
If we literally had no food in the house, okay, just saying, we had no food in this house, and I made pasta that did not include any kind of meat or chicken, he wouldn't eat it.
Bro, cause you gotta have
rather
something.
starve. We'd be like, there's no point in eating it. It ain't got meat, no chicken, no meat.
Bro, I hated. I think I went somewhere and I ordered like the Alfredo pasta, thinking chicken was gonna come with it, and it didn't. And I was like, "This ain't that good. Like, it's okay, but like, it needs chicken."
For me, I'm gonna order it without the chicken.
No, it's good. It's gotta. Yeah, I would have suffered, bro. I probably would have cried. Like I gotta eat, bro. Like I can eat soup now, at least soup.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to eat if he couldn't eat, cause I'd feel terrible.
Oh yeah, we opposites. Cause
yeah, cause he done told me. Nah, it don't matter.
When she get pregnant, I said, you go with that because you can't eat until a certain point, like
yeah, when you're in labor,
you can't. And I said, hey, if you in labor too long, Kenzie, I just ain't gonna make it. I said, it don't make sense for both of us to.
And he knows I'm gonna be in labor too long because he has to eat at least 3 whole meals a day and some snacks.
I gotta be your rock in that hospital. So as your rock, I gotta be at full strength, and I gotta know. You feel me? If I'm weak, I can't afford to be weak because you gonna be suffering. I told him just don't let me
smell it on it.
And she knows she gonna smell it. Or that pregnant women, y'all senses increase, don't y'all?
Yeah, still. I'ma just know you was gone too long. I know what you wouldn't.
Just know if I'm chewing a piece of gum, and that mean I just ate.
I'ma know. I'ma know. And the thing is, you better sneak me some. Fry on the side.
We have to when my sister was pregnant, we had to sneak up food, like, here go a burger,
Here go a burger.
She was suffering, bro. She she was ready to break down. Like, she was breaking down, like, crying and stuff, like, because she wanted to eat so badly. Because the labor took such a long time.
Yeah, that was my sister, which all my sisters had their babies fairly quickly. They had to do emergency C-sections and all that.
Yeah.
But my sister's very last baby, she got to do the whole laboring process.
Yeah.
So that was the first time she had to experience going without eating.
Yeah.
For hours and hours and hours. And she cried and she cried.
I bet.
And then we all snuck out to go eat. And she cried and cried. So we brought her back some food.
They gotta eat, bro. You can't. I know it's not what doctors say is best, but you see your sibling break it down, and somebody you love break it down, just wanting some food, like.
And you know that they're starving.
Come on.
And like all they get is ice chips, and sometimes they don't even let you have that. I would be dying.
I feel like I'm starting to understand why the siblings and stuff keep feeding them on my 600-pound life now. Cause I be sitting there watching the show like, stop bringing them the goddamn food. But then it's like, dang, if you see a kid or your sibling like just starving, bro, like you gonna bring them some food.
Yeah.
But I would have brought you some healthier food than what they be bringing. Press this button real quick before we stop back.
Course, all alone.
Now that y'all know about our stories, our sibling stories, we'll get back to it in a minute.
Absolute monster, and I just cried. Nothing had broken me. Throughout the pain, throughout the nose tube, throughout the surgery, everything. I was so calm. The thing that broke me was not being given food, like a proper meal by Friday. Just couldn't stop crying. And the nurse came in and she was so sweet. At that point, they whipped out the nose tube and gave me a meal, and it was the best salad I've ever had. It was so delightful. I was so grateful. That was my only wobble.
I'll say, if y'all don't get this salad out of my face, give me a steak right now.
I would have been fine with the salad.
I don't do vegetables either.
Got to eat. I can honestly say the food that I was given once I was allowed to eat was really delicious. And then I was allowed home on the Saturday evening.
She just wanted to get back to everything like normal, but she couldn't, so we forced her into having a good rest.
It's been just over 2 weeks since my surgery. I am obviously still taking it easy, but I feel like I'm on the ball mentally again.
Throughout all of this, we can honestly say that the standard of healthcare where we live in Queensland is exceptional.
The surgery that I had and the care that I had was actually on the public system. So a lot of people have private health insurance. We don't. However, we have in the past paid for private medical care. This occasion we didn't, because it was an emergency situation and it was dealt with very quickly. But in the past, Ben had a tonsillectomy, which we paid for privately because we wanted it to be something that happened straight away. But on this occasion, we used public health care, and honestly, I don't think you could beat the service that we received. I'm so grateful for that. To live in Australia, you know, a country that's not where I've come from, and to be treated in such an exceptional way, I feel very lucky. One thing about Queensland I know that is different to some of the other states is that we have free ambulances. I know that in some areas you actually have to pay for ambulances. I thought we were very lucky with the NHS in England, but wow. I've seen situations in the UK where, when necessary, when there's a real emergency, doctors and nurses, they come flying out of nowhere and you receive the most incredible care when you need it. I've seen that firsthand, and so I in no way ever want to discredit the NHS, because I think that the NHS staff are just the most incredible people. For anyone who doesn't know the NHS, that's the British healthcare system. What I think here is that they seem to have more resources, and they're not so short on staff, and the staff aren't treated so terribly as they are in the UK. And for that reason, it feels like there's more of them, and it feels like they're not under the pump to that level. The team aren't better, they're just better resourced. The care, I couldn't fault it. Even when I told you the story of me thinking that the nurse was drugging me, that was just the drugs. She truly was wonderful. Just want to clarify this. Actually, I don't know what it was, but I must find out what it was, because I never ever want to have that again.
Yeah, that's so awesome, man. Shout out Australia healthcare system, taking care of her, making her feel comfortable, getting there in and out pretty quickly. It seems like they figured out what the problem was, solved it pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
that's great. And I have heard of the NHS in UK, and I've heard it's like underfunded or something like that, and it's like a lot of stress on like the doctors and nurses that work in that system. But I would just wish the U.S. would get like some kind of public healthcare system where that was affordable and took care of us like that.
Right.
That's all we got. Make sure you guys subscribe, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. We out.